World Wrestling Entertainment held 11 pay-per-views in 2021. Today we find out which wrestler had the highest win percentage on pay-per-view, who had the longest and shortest matches on pay-per-view, who made the most number of appearances on pay-per-view, and finally we find out which pay-per-view had the most number of title changes on the show. The longest match happened at Money in the Bank, where Roman Reigns successfully defended his Universal Championship belt against Edge in a match that went 33 minutes long. This match holds the record for the longest singles match on pay-per-view for 2021. And it was after this match we saw the return of John Cena to WWE. This was the first time we had seen John Cena ever since his loss to Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania 36. The shortest match on pay-per-view happened at SummerSlam, where Becky Lynch made her return to the company, and this was the first time we had seen Becky since the Fallout episode of Monday Night Raw after Money in the Bank in 2020, where she announced her pregnancy and was taking time off. And Becky Lynch immediately challenged Bianca for the SmackDown Women's Championship at SummerSlam, and Bianca accepted. Becky Lynch pinned Bianca in 26 seconds. This match holds the record for the shortest wrestling match on pay-per-view for 2021. Out of the 11 pay-per-views in 2021, the only month WWE didn't hold a pay-per-view was in the month of December. There are 4 wrestlers who are tied for the first position for most pay-per-view appearances, and they are Bobby Lashley, Bianca Belair, Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns, who are all tied with 10 pay-per-view appearances each in 2021. The pay-per-view which had the most title changes was also the first event of 2021 to have fans back in attendance, and that event was WrestleMania 37, where we saw 5 titles change hands over a span of 2 nights. On night 1, we saw AJ Styles and Omos become the new Raw Tag Team Champions by defeating The New Day. And in the main event of night 1, we saw Bianca Belair become the new SmackDown Women's Champion by defeating Sasha Banks in what was a historical match for the company and for the wrestlers involved. On night 2, we saw Apollo Crews become the new Intercontinental Champion by defeating Big E. Sheamus became the new US Champion by defeating Matt Riddle, and Rhea Ripley became the new Raw Women's Champion by defeating Asuka. The only belt that was not defended at WrestleMania 37 was the SmackDown Tag Team belts, and this was the last time the Intercontinental Championship belt was defended on a pay-per-view in 2021. We all know who dominated 2021, but there are a few names on this list that might surprise you. The tag team with the highest win percentage on pay-per-view in 2021 are the team of Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, who have a 100% win rate with a 4-0 record on pay-per-views. The wrestler with the most wins in 2021 is none other than the head of the table, Roman Reigns, who has a 100% win rate with a 10-0 record and is undefeated on pay-per-views in 2021. Out of his 10 pay-per-view appearances, the only pay-per-views Roman Reigns didn't main event were the Royal Rumble and the Elimination Chamber. When you look at the others with the most pay-per-view appearances, Drew McIntyre has the worst win rate on pay-per-views with a 4-6 record, while Bobby Lashley and Bianca Belair both share the same win rate with 6 wins and 4 losses on pay-per-views. But what I found shocking was that Sasha Banks has the worst record on pay-per-views in 2021. With a 1-5 record on pay-per-views, her only win of 2021 came at the Royal Rumble, where she successfully defended her SmackDown Women's Championship belt against Carmella